All right, guys, so here we are. This is the final stretch, and we are going to build the machine vision part. And we're going to essentially build a simulator that's going to mimic as if you have a camera that's in an underground parking lot, and it's going to scan the license plate. We'll be scanning the actual license plates from pictures, and that's going to send the notification over to the server. And we're going to make sure the notification is secure. So we're going to have a camera for each location, and that's how we're going to figure out which location the camera trigger is coming from. Now, before we do that, we need to create an API on the, I guess, server side. You can say on the client side, so that the machine vision part can call that, and that's how the two are going to communicate. So let's get started. So if you guys remember, we created this API. So now I'm gonna close this. We're gonna come here, and under the API, I'm gonna create a new folder, and I'm going to call it plate. And then within plate, I'm going to create a route.ts like that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to close this, and we are going to do this is not a React function. So I'm going to do export async function post. Okay, and then it's going to take a request like that. Okay, we're gonna capture the whole thing in a try catch because we want to make sure we grab any errors. So let me do this. And if there are any errors, we're just gonna log them, and that's that. Okay, so what we can do here is I'm gonna come and I'm gonna say body is equal to await request.body. So grab the body, and then what we will do is we're going to do const auth header, and it's going to be request.headers.get, and it's going to be authorization like that. And then we will do if not auth header. So let's say request came from somebody just trying to like hack us or something. There's no auth header. Then we return a response and basically say, you know what, not allowed. So that's gonna do that. So I'm gonna just grab it like that. Then we come here and we do token. Token is equal to auth header, and we're going to do dot split. Okay, and we're going to split it by the because it comes like this, authorization and then space, and then you're going to have your token. So we're going to grab it like that, and then we do if token does not equal to process dot env dot app key. So remember, since we are in control of the app, the machine vision part, and then the client side, so we will have to create a token that the two are going to share, and you don't share that with anyone. And if you want to be more robust, you can actually rotate that every week or every month so that you're more secure. And then basically, if let's say the token is not the same as the one we have in the um, uh, environment file, then we just say wrong credentials. So now we need to go ahead and create this. So I'm going to go over to my end file. Okay, so here in my end file, basically all I did is just I used some kind of a hash generator and generated this app key. So that's the one we will be using. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close this. We're going to save this. And once we have passed all these, that means everything looks good, and that means the request is coming from a trusted party. And then we're going to do plate, and we're going to do address, and then the time stamp. So the machine vision part is going to send us these three things: the plate, the address, and the timestamp. Okay, and then what we will do is I'm going to do const booking is equal to await, and then what we will do now is we're going to go ahead and find the booking by this plate number to see if that exists. So let's say a car drives through the parking garage. The camera is going to capture the plate, and then immediately is going to send this over to the backend to see if this thing actually exists. So then what we'll do, we'll say, okay, so plate dot to lowercase. So we are storing the plate on the, remember in the database we did that. So now we're gonna just say, okay, find me a booking by this plate number, and then we will the status has to be booked, right? So we're gonna do booking status does booked, right? It has to be booked. Okay, I think one mistake we made. Okay, so this thing is still complaining, and sorry, one mistake I made is this should be JSON. Like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. My apologies. Anyway, so yeah, we get the plate, we get the address, we get the timestamp. So now we will say, okay, find me a booking, by this plate and with the status of booked. And then what we will do is we will say, if not booking, right? So let's say we were unable to find the booking, then let's do a console log and we will say violation. So this will be something like you will do for your records. You will log it in a log file, and then we will do, let's say, and we'll do plate. So we'll say, this plate, there was a violation. Of course, you're going to do timestamp, but at the same time, we need to now send a violation. Let me do that. Violation email. So let's say you have some enforcement or some kind of a gatekeeper. You want to notify them either through a text message or you want to send them an email so they can go ahead and ticket the person. So we're going to give them the plate, the address, and then the timestamp on when the violation actually occurred. And if, let's say, everything went okay, means we found the booking and everything's good, then we basically just simply do console.log and we're going to do okay, and then I'll still log the plate number like that. And then in the end, you're just going to return a next response. We're going to do JSON and we'll do just message okay. So we want to notify the party that sent us the message, let's say the machine vision part, that what, okay, we got your response, sorry, request, and we here's a okay message for you. Okay, so this send violation email, it's going to be an action that's going to send an email. If you guys remember, we did one here when we sent the confirmation email. So now we're going to follow the same kind of deal. And actually, you know what I will do? I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to paste it. Okay, and this one I will call send violation email, right? And then let me go back and let me see if this will actually bring it. Yeah, send violation email. So it's going to take the plate, address, and timestamp. So we need to go ahead and modify in this action here. So if I come here, I need a plate and I need an address. That's going to be a string, and then we need a timestamp. That's also a string. Okay, so we have that, and let's see, that fixes that error. Good. So I'm going to save this, and let's come here now and let's see. So for this one, I don't need this one to log in user, because we don't need anyone to be logged in. We also don't need to connect to the database because all we're doing is just sending an email, right? So I also don't need this. I'm going to get rid of this. And then I also, let's see, because we are already checking the booking when we get a request from the machine vision part. So let's see, I'm going to reorder this a bit. Okay, so we're just saying resend the email that send get less parking. And then for this one, so I created an email, it is called violation. So you have to register these emails. So I created this. So you need to register a domain is what I'm saying. And then what I will do is okay, for I will come here and I'm going to do process.end and we're going to do violation email. Okay, so you want to put this in an end file just in case. That's I guess best practice. So I'm going to put let's say do this process.end.violation email, and we're gonna do this, and then we can say violation reported. So I'm going to remove this and I will do violation reported. Okay, now for this one we need an email template, so I'm going to do violation email template. Okay, and all it will take is a plate. The plate will be plate, and let me get rid of, let me see, okay, this thing scrolls pretty fast. We need the address, and that's going to be the address, and then finally we need the timestamp, and that's going to be the timestamp. Okay, I don't need none of this, so let me see. We need to get rid of all of this. Okay, so that's that. And now, yeah, it's highlighted with this squiggly lines because we haven't created this, so we're going to create that. But I think the rest of it is looking good. I don't need this one, so I'm going to do this. Okay, and I think we should be good. And then what I will do is I'm going to save. Well, I'm not going to save it because it's going to just error out. So what I will do is I'm going to go to components. If you guys remember, we created this email template. Now we're going to create the same one for a violation email template. Okay, so I will come here and create a new file, and we're going to do violation email and template.tsx. Let's close this. Violation email template, like that. Okay, I'm going to save it, and then what we will do immediately is I'm going to give it some props, and we need to create these props. So what we will do, we will say interface, and I'm going to do email template props. Okay, and I need plate, I need address, I need timestamp, string, like that. And then I'm going to take this, copy it, and then put it here. All right, cool. So let's go back here and let's make sure that this is coming. Cool. So this is happy, that guy's happy, everyone is happy. All right, so what we can do is I'm going to do const, and I need to plate address timestamp, and I'm going to grab this from the props, like that. It should be timestamp. Okay, and then we need to now do the same what we did in that email template. So I'm going to do HTML. This coming from React email, like that. And then this one is actually simpler than the other one we did. And then I'm going to do this. Just make sure you're bringing this from the right component, because I had a lot of headache because it came from the wrong component. And then preview. I explained this before what this means. I'm going to do violation reported at. So let's say you have this officer, enforcement officer. They can just see right away where the violation occurred. That's what we're going to put this in the preview. And then I need the body. Okay, style equal to main. Now we're going to create this. If you guys remember, I talked about what this style was in the previous tutorial. And then I'm just going to come here so the style, this is the style that's going to be applied to the email that's going to go to the officer. But we just have a background color and a font family, and I'm putting all of them because these are all like how should I say, backups. So that's what they are. And then we have the container. Anyway, so I'm going to come here after the body. Let me see, I can come here and I'm going to do container from React email, and the style is going to be a container, like that. And then I need a heading, that's this one, and as I'm going to say h1. Okay, and then I need a style. So for style, I'm honestly not typing it, but I'll show you guys. So let me see. Style basically is this. So what it is just font size, line height, color, font weight, text align center. That's all. That's all we're doing here. And then we can say violation at, and then let's just do the address, like so. And then after the heading, I'm going to do a horizontal ruler, and then I'll put a text field. And let's see from here, and we're gonna give it a style. And then the style, let me just grab it and let me just do this. And then what I will put here is I'll say plate, and then we'll say plate. Okay, so again, font size 22, padding, line height, color, that's all. Nothing magical here. I'm going to copy this because we also need to specify the time, and we'll do basically date, and we're going to do timestamp. Okay, so I think that's it. So this is the email that's going to go out to the officer. We're going to take a look at it when we send one. So let me close this. So here we go. Send violation email is here. That's done. So this, what's going to happen? The machine vision part is going to call this API endpoint, and then it's going to pass in the plate, the address, the timestamp. If the plate is not found within the, let's say, database, and that's with the status of booked, then we just send a violation email, and that will be the end of it. If it's found, then we do nothing. There's nothing else to do. So now this is done, and now what we need to do is start the Python project so we can create the machine vision part. So before we go ahead and start that, we need to talk about how we're going to do this. So we are, first of all, let me grab this, and you're going to go to something called RoboFlow, and we're going to go ahead, and you want to sign in. RoboFlow, if you don't know, basically is a place where you can build and deploy your models. So once you, let's say, train the model, build it, then you can deploy it here, and we're going to see how we can call it through an API. There's also a ton of built-in models, and you will see how we can utilize one of the built-in, because somebody has already done the work for you. They have trained it on thousands of images, so you don't have to do the work. So anyway, so if you don't have an account already, then we're gonna go ahead, create one, and then I can sign in. Okay, once you sign in, then you're gonna end up on your dashboard, and here you can basically create a new project. So you can come here and just create a new project if you don't already have one. So since I've already created a project, I can basically just use that, but this is how you would create a new project. I'm going to cancel that, and here's my project, gateless parking. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys how you can find built-in models that are already done for you, and you can utilize them. So I can come here to, I can say RoboFlow license. Let's say I want to do license plate model, so I'm gonna come here. So as you can see, these are all the basically this is where you get the model where somebody has already trained their machine vision model on the different license plate, and they have used 350 images. So you can use you can basically use this one, and let me see. So this is the universe, by the way, and in the universe you can also find all the different models that they have. And here's the license plate one. So the models that I found out was this one. Let me see if I can I find it? Yeah, so it's called license dash plate dash DAUSQ, and that's the model that I actually chose because I think they were trained on a ton of images, and I was getting actually good performance out of it. It's not perfect, but it can do the job 90% of the time. So anyways, go to this place and you know go play around with. There's so many models, like it's insane what they have. So anyway, so I'm going to close this now that we know how to get our model. And now the other thing you will need is your API key. So once you are in your dashboard, then you're going to go to the workspace settings, and here's the API keys. We're going to be calling the API, the REST API, and that's what we're going to use the private key. So I'm not going to show the key, but you know where to get it. So you're going to copy it, and we're going to use this in our machine vision project. The Python file, we're going to put this in environment file so that we don't share it with other people. Anyway, so this is where you will get the API key. Okay, so now we're going to use, before we start the Python code, I just want to talk about the virtual environment. So if you want to run Python code, it's best to create a virtual environment so that you don't pollute your global, let's say, environment, right? So let's say you want to install packages, which we will be doing. You want to install them in a virtual environment. It's like a separate container, and then everything is just enclosed in that. So it's just a good tip to do that. So I'm gonna go to my VS Code, or we're gonna do File, New Window. Okay, so then I just created a folder. I call it Gateless Parking, and basically I opened that. So what we will do is, first thing is we're gonna create a main.py file, so main.python file. Okay, so now that I'm here, then it's saying, so now, okay, so now that I've created the file, now we need to create the virtual environment. So what they're saying is to create the virtual environment VS Code what you need is basically, open the command palette. It's the Command Shift P, I guess, on Mac, and on Windows will be Control Shift P. So I'm gonna do that, and then it's basically saying select the Python create environment, right? So that's what I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna select that and basically create a virtual environment in the current workspace. So I'm gonna select that, and now it's gonna ask you to select the Python installation. So what I will do is I have the global one, and let's see, can I, oops, actually I clicked that one. So we're just gonna select that one, and okay, so the environment is selected. So now we are running in a virtual environment. One thing you can configure is if I hit go to the terminal, you can see here that you have the .venv. That means you're running in a virtual environment. So how cool is that? So I guess first things first, let's just print something, make sure everything is working. So I can do hello world. I guess that's the first thing you do. And I'm gonna hit the play button. And hello world. Beautiful. Okay, so it looks like the Python code is running. So I'm going to close this, and then what I will do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to create an environment file like that. Okay, then within the environment file, I'm going to create the app underscore key. So if you guys remember from the NextJS code, remember we created this, let me see. Here, this is the one we created. So I'm going to copy this because remember, we want to make sure that they are both authenticated. And then also need a RoboFlow underscore API underscore key. So I'm going to paste that after. And then we also need a location where, let's say, this camera is located, right? So for this one, I have picked an address that we registered on our when we did the created the app. Remember the admin section, we had addresses. So I think there was one address that we registered, so I'm going to put that. Okay, I'm going to put my RoboFlow API key, then I'm going to close this file, and then we're gonna switch to the main.py. Okay, so the first thing we will do is let's see if we can read the environment file, and for that we will have to install something called python.env. I'm going to copy this command, and we're going to come into the terminal, and I'm going to paste it, and let's see. Okay, successfully installed. Okay, so that's good. So it's been installed. Okay, so once that is installed, then what you can do is, so they're telling you basically what you need to do. So we're going to do from.env. By the way, if you type .env is not coming up, make sure to reload the VS Code window. And the way to do it is Command Shift P, and then just hit a reload window, then that'll work. So let's see. Okay, so that's, and I'm going to do import, and we're going to do load env like that, and then we're going to do load.env. Okay, and then now after this, what we can do is we can start to let's say if I can do print, and then I can do os dot. Oh yeah, so one thing we should do import os, and then I can do os dot, and I'm going to do get env. Okay, like that, and let's say location, because remember that's one of the environment variable we did. So if I hit play, there you go. So it's coming 32 Spadina. So beautiful. So that means we can load our environment variables. And then what I will do is I'm going to get the API key, because that's the one we will be needing when we are making a call to the backend. So I'll do get env, and then I'll do app underscore key, right? So let's just print this. I'm gonna do API key. Let's just make sure. There you go. So it's coming. So that's coming. Beautiful. Okay, so the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna just create a class, and then we're just gonna call the class, and that's gonna do the main work for us. And we're gonna create a GUI, so kind of simulate how we will. We're gonna create a GUI, and we're gonna basically load an image of a car with a license plate, as if like a camera would be taking a picture. So for that, we will need to install PyQt. And the way we do this is if I come here now, do PyQt. So if you guys don't know, PyQt is a very cool, so let me see, pretty cool library for creating GUIs pretty quick. And yeah, so I'm going to copy this command and let's come here and we're going to do install that. Hopefully no errors. Beautiful. Let's just reload the window to make sure no errors. Okay, so that's good. So let's create the app. That's the main app, and it's going to take the Q main window like that. Okay, whoop. Okay, and then we're going to create this kind of constructor. We're going to do init, and we're going to do self. Okay, and it's going to call super, and we're going to do init like that. Whoop. Init and like that, and then I'm going to do self dot set window. Now so it's gonna not bring in the thing, so we need to bring in the qt stuff. So I'm going to do py qt6 dot qt. Let's see, do they have widgets? They should have widgets. There you go. So we're going to bring in the widgets. We're going to import, and I'm going to bring in the q. I think maybe it doesn't. Let me close this one. So I'm going to do QA application. I'm going to bring in Q main window. There you go. That's gone. Q label and Q push button. And let's see, we need a button and Q. I'm going to bring V box layout and then a Q widget. Let's see, like that. And then finally Q. We need something for like a file, because we'll be loading the images. Okay, so all of this. So now I can do window title. There you go. And I'm going to do gateless. Wow. Gateless parking, and we're going to do ALPR, automatic license plate recognition. There you go. That's a nice name for you. And then we will do self dot set geometry. So how big we want the window to be. So let's just do 100 by 100 and then 400 up to 400. Okay, so you can hover over and see. Then they don't tell you much definition, do they? Anyway, so you can find more about it if I, for example, come here, copy this name. Okay, so I can go PyQt set geometry. Don't have here's the Q. It's part of the Q widget widget class, by the way. So you can read more about it here. Anyways, so with that should be enough, I think, for us to show something on the screen. So let's say I come here, I'm going to do app is equal to QA application, and then what I'll do, I'll say sys.argv. Now let's see, so this is in case you need to pass in any argument, so that's that. And then I will do window is equal to app. Okay, we're gonna just initialize our class, and then I'm gonna do window dot show. So at this point we can show the window, and then we're gonna do sys dot exit. Okay, and then I'm gonna do app dot exec like that. So if everything went okay, we should be able to see a window with the title of gateless parking. So let's see. I'm very excited. Let's play it. All right, there you go. Let me bring it over for you guys. So there you go. This is your window into future. Okay, so I'm going to close this and let's continue. So what we will do is we're going to create a central widget, and then I'm going to create a widget. So the idea with Qt is you create these widgets, and then basically what you can do is you can start adding stuff to it. You can create box layout and all. So I'm going to show you guys how that works. So I'm going to do self dot and set central self dot set central widget, and then I'll do central widget like that, and then self dot layout. We're going to create layout, it's gonna be a box layout, QV box layout. Okay, and then central widget dot set layout, and that's going to be what you got it. It's going to be this layout, the one we created. Okay, and then now let's create the widget. So let's say create widgets. Okay, and then so this one I'm going to do, let's just comment it so you guys know what's going on. Layout. So you want to create a layout first. Now we're going to start creating the widgets for it, and then I'm going to do self dot upload button is equal to Q push button. By the way, once you get a hang of this Qt, it's really easy and you can create some very powerful GUIs with it. Okay, and then self.upload button and dot clicked. Okay, connect. So the idea is when somebody clicks it, you want to connect it to some kind of a handler. So that's what we're going to do. So it's going to be self dot. So what's going to happen is when the button is clicked, we want to call a function. And the way you do this is you're going to come here, you're going to do define. We're going to do upload image. Okay. And we're going to pass it self. And then I can do self dot upload image. Okay. So it's going to call this function. And what I will do for starters, I'll do print upload image. For now, we don't have the thing, but we're going to add it. But this is just so that this is working. Okay, and then what we will do is we're going to do self. So now the button is not going to appear yet. Let me prove it to you guys. So if I play this, so the button is not going to show yet because we need to add it to the layout. So that's the idea. So you create these widgets and then you add them to the layout. So I'm going to do self.layout and I'm going to do add widget dot add widget, and I'm going to do self dot upload button. Okay, let's save it and let's see what happens. I'm going to play it and there you go. So as you can see, the button is here. If I hit it, it's the printing upload image. So that's pretty fantastic. So let's finish this upload image, I guess, how can I say, function. So I'm going to do file dialog is equal to Q file dialog. Okay, we're going to create a file dialog, file underscore path. Okay, and then we're going to do basically file underscore dialog dot, we're going to do get open file name. Okay, self, you're going to pass that. We're going to do open image. So you want to give it a title, and then after this, the third item directory, and then image files. Okay, files. And then here I'm going to specify the basically all the valid file formats like JPEG, PNG, and all that. And then we're going to come to the next line, and then we're going to do if file path. Okay, then pix map is equal to q pix map. Map. I think we didn't bring this in, so let's bring this in. So we're going to do from PyQt6, we're going to do Qt, it's going to be GUI. Okay, import. We're going to bring in this pixmap, this one. Also, I need Q font, so I'm going to bring those two. And while we're here, what I'll also do is also bring PyQt6. I'm going to bring Qt core, and I'm going to bring import Qt. Like that, and then I'm going to come here and there you go. So that's working, and to this qpix map I will pass in the file path. Okay, so this, let's say this will if I come here, I'm going to do print file underscore path. If we came up to this far, it should let us show the file dialog and all. So I'm going to press this, and there you go. So that's coming up. Let's hit scan place. It should show us a file dialog. Beautiful, there you go. So that's coming. So let me head over and find the images. So let's say I select this one. I'm going to say open. And as you can see, it's actually telling us the path to the file. So let's say it's a Camry card and it's showing us that. So that's working. So let's close this. And then what we will also do is we need to also add a label. So I'm going to do self.image underscore label is equal to Q label. Okay, and it's going to be alignment. I'm going to do qt dot alignment flag, and I'm going to do align center like so, and then self dot, I'm going to do layout dot add widget, and it's going to be self dot image label. Okay, so we're going to add the image label, and then another one, I'm going to self dot label. Okay, it's going to be q label, and then it's going to be load an image to scan. Okay, alignment is equal to b qt dot alignment flag dot align center like so, and then self dot, I'm going to layout, I'm going to do add widget self dot layout like that. Sorry, it's going to be self dot label, not layout, label like that. Okay, and then I will do self dot label, and I'll do set font. Let's just give it a different kind of font, q font. Okay, and it's going to be Arial, and then the font size, I'm going to give it 20, and then self dot label, I'm going to do set style sheet. Okay, and let's just give it a color of white like that. So let's save it, and then I'm going to come here. So let's say we did this, I'm going to get rid of that, and now I can do self dot image underscore label, and I'm going to do set pix map. Okay, and I'm going to do pix map, and I'm going to do scaled to width. Okay, and let's just scale it to 300 like so. And then what I will do is I'm going to do car, it's going to create a variable. I'm going to do os.path dot base name. So we want to get the path to the car picture. So I'm going to do file path. So base name, when you do this with path is the path, but when you do the base name, it's going to just give you the name. Okay, and then I'm going to do self dot label dot set text. Okay, and we can do, so you know how you have string interpolation, that's how you do in Python, in case you didn't know. I'm going to do file, and then we're going to do car, car like that. And after this, we're going to call the let's say we're going to process the plate. Okay, so let's see if this works. So I'm going to play this. Okay, let me bring this here. So as you can see, load an image to scan. That's load an image to scan, 20, color white. So let's load one. Okay, as you can see, file camry.jpg, file camry.jpg. So pretty cool. So now let's do the part where we're going to call the RoboFlow API and see if we can get the plate out of this. So I'm going to close this. And then what we can do is, let's see. So I'm going to close this. I think we don't need this. Let's create another function, and what I'll do is I'm going to come here and I'll say process car image. So I'm going to grab this, bring it here, and then it's going to take self and then car like that. And then what I will do is I'm going to do car. I think I need to do this because it's not going to call the function. And then what I will do in here is we're going to do a try catch scenario here, and let's just do exception, then exception, okay, as E, and then we're just going to do print F, and then do error, and let's just print the error in case there's any. Okay, so now that we have that, what we will do is we'll say plate underscore plate number is equal to, so we're going to do scan plate. Okay, and we're going to pass in this. So now you must be asking, well, what's scan plate? So that's something we need to create, and for that we're going to come here and I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it alpr.py. So automatic license plate recognition.py like that. And then first things first, we're going to bring import OS, and then from we're going to do .env, we're going to import load environment, and then load .env. And then now what you need to do is first of all save this, and I'm going to do scan plate, I'll do car. So let's just do print car. Okay, and then if I come here, now we need to bring in this here. It's not going to bring it for us, so we're going to come here and we're going to say from ALPR import scan plate. Cool. Okay, let's save it. So now if I basically, if everything went well, we should be able to call this and it should print car. So we're gonna go here. I'm going to run this. Okay, here it is. So okay, let's see cam.jpg. Beautiful. So it is calling the scan plate. That's pretty cool. Okay, so to do this license plate thingy, we need to install a couple of libraries. So first of all is CV2 library. So if I come here and also Python CV2, Python CV2, so OpenCV, probably one of the most important machine vision library. Where is the pip install? Let's see. Pip install CV. Okay, here we go. So we need to install this one. So if I come here, okay, that's installed. Let's see if we can bring it. Import CV2. Okay, so there you go. So that's bringing in the CV2 for us. The idea is when the RoboFlow scans the plate, it's going to give you the coordinates of where the plate is. So we still need to extract the from the image, right? You have the whole image. We still need to extract that exact portion, the plate portion, from the image. And the other thing we need to also install is something called Python inference HTTP client. So that's from RoboFlow. And let's see if they have a pip install for us. So I'm going to do a pip install here and inference CLI. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and let's see if, because we need to call the RoboFlow API and that's the way to do it. So they're telling you basically, you know, pip install inference CLI. But I think what we need to install is the inference SDK, not the CLI. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in. So okay, so you need to do pip install inference SDK. So let's do that. So it's gonna run for a while. I'm going to minimize this. Okay, with that installed, so what you can do is I'm gonna come here and we're going to do from inference SDK import. We're going to do inference HTTP client. And the reason why we need to do this is so that I can do something like this. Client, actually they're telling you client, okay, is equal to, I can do inference HTTP client, okay, API URL. So you need the URL, okay, and then what you need is the API key. And then the reason, that's why we bought the OS, so I can do os.get env and I can do RoboFlow underscore API underscore key. Okay, and then the URL is https detect RoboFlow and we're going to do .com. Okay, so that's that. So this is gonna now basically, with this one now we can call the RoboFlow thingy and see if we can get the plate coordinates and all. Okay, I think we are all set. This is exciting. So what we will do is I'm going to do extracting plate. Okay, let's just spit out a message. Let me close this, and then what you want to do is I'm going to do result is equal to client. Okay, and we're going to infer and you want to do the car. Okay, and the model ID that I'll be using is, if you guys remember, I told you guys model that I'm using is this one. So this is very powerful. In case you guys are doing a human pose detection, then you can kind of use the same technique, but you know, you'll be using that model. Okay, so let me close this. So once we have that, so if we don't have any result, okay, then return none. Okay, well, because nothing worked. And then we're gonna do predictions. Predictions is equal to result, and then basically, because what you get from from inference, right? what you get is a prediction array. Okay, so we're going to do predictions and we're going to do 0. So let me actually show you guys what the heck is going on. So if I do print result, okay, and then, well, let's just run it and see what happens. So I'm going to fire this up. We're going to maximize this. Oh, sorry, I need to be in the main because that's where the Qt application is. So let me close this. Okay, and let me maximize this so we can see. So I'm going to run this. So I'm going to hit scan plate, and then if I go to my gate list parking, I copied the images here. So let's say I select this Honda, and I'm going to say open. So now it's going to run the inference, and as you can see, you get this array, and there's like the other info, but what we are interested in is in the predictions. So the prediction is basically telling you where's the x, y coordinate, the starting position, and then the height, and then the width. So I mean, from that you can just get the whole picture. And it's basically the confidence is 90%. It's 90% confident that it's a license plate. So that's pretty cool. So that's what basically you're getting from this machine vision model. Okay, so that's exciting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super pumped right now. Okay, so now that we got the predictions, okay, let's close this. And I'm just gonna get rid of this. And so now we got the predictions. I don't need this. I'm gonna get rid of this. So then what we do is after the predictions, I'm gonna get the CX, which is the X coordinates. So remember we got, as you can see we got the prediction, that's the predictions array, and I'm gonna get the CX. So I will do int, and I'm gonna do predictions, okay, and then we will do X. Okay, so that's gonna give us this one, and then then I'm gonna duplicate this, and then we need the CY, and then for this one I need the Y. As you can see, here's the Y, so I got that. And then we also need the width, and then I need the height. Okay, so the width will be, again, it's width, and then as you can see the height is here. I'm actually just going to copy it from here and paste it here. So you got basically the CX, the Y, the width, and the height. So I got that. And then what I will do is I'll say half width is equal to int width divided by 2, okay, and then half height is equal to int height divided by 2. Okay, so we get the basically half width and half height. Then x1 is equal to cx minus half width, and then y1 is equal to cy minus half height, like that. So let me duplicate these, and then what I also need is x2, and then x2 will be cx minus half width. Let's see, sorry, this will be plus, right? So I want to get the other side, half width, and then this will be plus, this is y2, and then this will be half height. Okay, that's fine, half height. Okay, so basically I have x1, y1, and I have x2, y2, and this is basically, so what I'm trying to get at is getting a rectangle. This is the left top corner, and this is the bottom right corner. That's what I'm trying to get. So cx, cy, and then the width and the height. So I hope that makes sense. Then what we can do, we can say image is equal to cv2.imRead. So read the image. So that's the image that was passed to us. And then we're gonna what we're gonna do is we're gonna crop the plate out of it, right? So we're gonna do plate crop, and then we're gonna do image, okay? And you want to specify, you know, the crop regions, okay? So we're gonna do y1, y2, and x1 plus 5. So I just want to go a little bit 5 pixels in, because what happens sometimes we'll get grab the borders. I don't want that, so that's what I'm doing it this way, x2 minus 5. Okay, so I think I should be doing this. The reason is an image is basically an array. That's what you get from imRead. So you get this this matrix, and so that's why we have to use the square brackets. And then, so you know what, at this point, let's see if we can IM show plate crop. Let's see if I can show you guys the crop region. Okay, that'll be exciting. So let me run this. Oh, again, I forget. I need to run the main. I'm going to run it. And okay, it says I'm show missing required argument mat. Oh, yes. I think we're missing something. Let me see. You need to give it the title. So we'll say plate cropped. Okay. So yeah, you need to give it a title. Let's try it again. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this to the next side. All right, so as you can see, it's able to crop. That's what we did actually. We cropped the plate out of it, right? So that then you can run your further machine, whatever thing you want to do on it, you can run that. So you can hit enter. Actually, I'm gonna close this one. That closed that. So let's try another one. So I'm going to come here. Okay, so as you can see, we were able to grab the license plate is Echo Savvy. Okay, savvy person. So as you can see, that's the whole idea. Let me close this. That's what we're trying to do here. We grab the predictions. From the predictions, we get the coordinates, and then we get the center of this, half width, half height. So that's the center. From the center, we do that. Then we read the the image using computer vision CV library. Then we crop the plate out, and then we can just do the further stuff. So I hope that makes sense. And then what we will do after that is, if you want to do, let's say, read license plate or text recognition, it's better to remove the color from it and make them grayscale is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to do CV2 color, and I'm going to do plate crop, and then what I will do is CV2 dot, and we're going to do color underscore BGR, and we're going to do this one. So this is going to make it black and white. And then finally, we're going to apply some blur. And the reason for that is it's going to get rid of noise, because sometimes if you have this speckles of noise in these images, so that's going to get rid of that. So we're going to use Gaussian blur for that. And I'm going to say gray, because that's the image, right? So you want to, it's like a pipeline. We just keep passing it down. And we're just going to specify a K. The K is like the kernel size, I think. So think of it like a small square that kind of moves across the image, and it's going to blur things out based on its neighbor. That's what it is. And then finally, before that, let's just show the image again so you guys can see. So I'm going to do CV2 dot IM show. We're going to do plate, and let's just do blur. Okay. And for now, I'm just going to do just return empty. Okay, so let's just run this. Okay, so as you can see, that's the plate. And after our image processing, we blur it out, we turn it grayscale, and as you can see, we're getting this. So now it's ready for text extraction. So that's that. So let me close that, and let's come here. So after this, we'll create another file, and I'm just going to call it util.py. Like so. And in this function, what we will do is I'm going to create a function. We're going to call it read license and plate, like that. And to this one, I'm going to pass the process plate and the crop. Okay, and let's just do this. Okay, so we need something called an EasyOCR. So let's see, Python EasyOCR, and that's what we need. So if you guys come here, one thing I like about Python is there's so many libraries that it's insane. And let's just paste it and install it. Okay, cool. So that's installed. So remember in the beginning we said we need it's good to run this in virtual environment, and that's the reason, because you're installing all these libraries. You don't want to be polluting your global Python package. Anyway, so I'm going to do import EasyOCR as OCR. And then what you want to do is detections is equal to reader. And then, so you must be asking, well, what is reader? So what we will do is we're going to define it. So we're going to do reader is equal to OCR.reader. So we're going to create a reader. and we're gonna do English because our plates are in English. So now I can do reader dot, and we're gonna do read text, okay? And we're gonna do process plate. So from the process plate, we're gonna read the text. So before we forget, let's go ahead and copy this one, read license plate, and let's bring it here. But we need to first do from util import what was the read license plate, there you go. And then what I will do is I'm going to do plate text is equal to that, and to this one we need to pass in the process plate, which is blur, and then I'm going to pass in the plate crop. Okay, and then now I can do plate text. I'm going to turn this back to the main guy. Anyway, so come to util, and then in here I'm going to do if not detections. Okay, if there's no detection, we're just going to do print. Okay, and then I'm going to do im2, so image. I'm going to do process plate dot copy. We're going to make a copy of the original plate. Then I'm going to do height, width, and then I'm going to do plate. We're going to dot shape. So when you do dot shape, we're trying to get the style. You would just so as I said, it's a matrix, right? So when you say shape, you're getting access to like the height and width. So that's what we're trying to do. And then I'm going to do main box rect, okay, is equal to height into width. Okay, whoops, width. And then man, height into width. Okay. And then we will do cv2 dot rectangle. So of course we need to bring in cv2, so we'll do cv2. Okay, we're going to do cv2 rectangle im2, and starting at 0 0, and width and height and 0, so that's the color 0 0. So is I think they in OpenCV, I don't know if it goes the other way, it's like red, green, blue, or BGR, I'm not sure, but there's one way we'll find out. And we'll just give it line thickness like that. And then we're going to do final, so this is like the final array. So what we're trying to do here is, so let's say we got all these detections, right? And now we're gonna, the OCR is gonna detect each and individual letter, and we're trying to now go through it and make sense of it, basically. That's the whole idea. So what we would do is we're basically gonna draw, let's say, bounding boxes around each element, and I'm gonna do for detections. Okay, for detection in detections, so go through the detection bounding box, okay, and text, and we're gonna do a detection. Okay, so we're gonna get that, and then x1 y1 is equal to bounding box, it's going to be 0. I'm gonna copy this, and then we're gonna do x2 y2, damn, and that's going to be 1, sorry, 2. Okay, so what we will do then is I'm going to do width is equal to abs. I'm going to do x1 minus x2. Okay, and then height is equal to absolute y1 minus y2. Okay, like that. And then area is equal to width into height, and then ratio is equal to area divided by main box rect. Okay, so we're just gonna get the ratio of each box to its so let's say if the whole license plate is like a rectangle, and then you want to get the ratio of each bounding box to it. Okay, then we're going to do if ratio is greater than 0.15, then we're going to do cleaned string is equal to so we're going to have to come here, and we're going to do import re, so it's a regular expression thingy. So we're gonna come here, and I'm going to do re.sub, and then I'm going to do pattern. Okay, and this one, and I'm going to do text. So you must be asking, well, what's pattern? So a pattern is basically all the valid characters from A to Z, and then all the valid numbers. So basically that's what we're saying. So we're trying to remove everything that's not a valid number, and that's what we're trying to do. So sometimes these plates can have, like, let's say a dot here, a period here. We want to get rid of those things, right? And then I'm going to do final dot append, and we will do cleaned string dot upper. Okay, and then once you're done with all this, then we are going to do return. We're going to do dot join. So this is one way of taking an array and just converting it into a string. Final. Okay, let's see. I'm going to save it. So one thing I can do is, let me see if I can do cv2.im show, and let's just say plate, and we're going to do im2. I'm going to save it. I'm going to come back here. Let's run it. Okay, here's the app. Let's scan. Okay, it's so, by the way, we're getting one thing error, too many values to unpack. So that's one problem. I don't know why. We'll get to that. And we're not getting the boxes around the plate. So I'm going to close it. And okay, we're getting this error, too many values to unpack. One thing I think we should do is, you usually get a score, but we're not using the score. So what I'll do is just put the underscore, and that should take care of it. And by the way, we don't need this one, so I just commented out. And then what I've done here is, for the plate crop that we passed, that's the color image. We're just gonna put a rectangle kind of around the area where the plate data is. So let's go ahead and run this, and let's see what happens. Okay, we're gonna process it, and there you go. So as you can see, all right, here the plate number came Sangoku, and as you can see also, we have a bounding box kind of around where the plate is. So I think this is working amazing. So that's pretty cool. So we are able to, let me just get rid of this. We don't need it, and we also don't need this. I'm going to save it, and if I go back here, so now we are able to read the plate. So now the last thing to do is to now send this off, call our API. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and what we will do is, we will do if plate number. Okay, then what we can do, we can say response is equal to, and requests, we need to import request. So we will do requests, okay, to make HTTP calls. Let's see, we're going to do request dot post, okay, and then HTTP, this will be our API endpoint, localhost, and then 3000. And if you guys remember, the API endpoint we created was plate, so that's what we're putting here. And then we're going to pass in JSON, and then we're going to put plate. If you guys remember, this is what how we structure our JSON, the address, and then this is going to be os.get, not this, get env, and it's going to be location, and then finally the timestamp. So let's say when this event occurred, we're going to do date time dot date time. I think we need to import date time. Why it doesn't import by itself, I don't know. Date time, like that, and then I can do date time dot now, and we're going to do ISO format. Okay, like this, like, man, like this. Okay, so with that done, then we are also going to pass in the authorization token, authorization, and then it's going to be token, and we're going to do API underscore key. We got that at the top, if you guys remember. And if that all went well, then what we will do is, I need to bring this here, and then let's just print the response. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and otherwise else, what we will do, we're just going to do self.label, and we're going to do set text, and just say not detected. Okay, so that's that. So now let's actually take this for a test bin. All right, so now what we can do is, let's see. So this is the machine vision part, and close this one. This is our API, the plate. So let's see if we come here. Let's see if I can do plate and then address and then timestamp. So let's see if we can print this on the server. Oh, console.log. I was thinking in Python. Okay, console.log. Man. Okay, so let me bring in this guy. Okay, there's a lot of errors, but what the heck. So here it is. Let's run it. And okay, so there you go. So it looks like this guy. I don't know why it's not showing the image yet, but as you can see, it actually came through Echo Savvy 32 Spadina, and it's on 10 at 3 p.m. That's amazing. So the one problem we're having is MongoDB. For some reason we timed out. Booking.find one. Okay, so that's a different problem. But what's happening is that this guy is actually now calling our API and is passing in the plate. So that's amazing. So we just need to now figure out why we can't get to the database, and why we can't find it. So I'm gonna move this to my other screen. Okay, we know this is working. I'm gonna move that, and then I'm gonna close this. So let's go back here. Let's refresh this. And can I go to my bookings? Okay, it looks like I am connected to the database. So why is it that this is not working? So let's try this again now. Okay, we're gonna Honda at this point, and there you go. So as you can see, okay, there you go. So the plate, okay, where is my screen? Here it is. So as you can see, the plate was recognized. It's XLLN999. That's the plate. And we are now calling the backend. So yeah, it's saying violation because this plate doesn't exist. XLLN999. So okay, and now this is the email. Okay, yeah. So we need to, because remember we were supposed to send the violation email. So we're missing the 2 in the environment file. So let's fix that. So this is amazing. So I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna bring this here. Lots of windows. And what I can do, I need to go to the environment file. If you guys remember, we actually have to send an email, right? Let me just actually walk you guys through. So send violation email. If I go here, then you see 2. We were supposed to put in an email here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put this in the environment file. Okay, so I punched in the email in the environment file, and now we're going to try again. So this plate doesn't exist in the database because we were putting all the garbage plate numbers. So let's do again, and I'm going to do, let's say this Honda. We're going to process it, and let's see. And okay, so I got an email. It's a violation. There you go, XLL9. I'm going to show you guys the email. All right, so as you guys can see, it says violation at grabsoft.com, and it's a violation reported, and there you go. So violation at 32 Spadina Avenue, blah blah blah, excellent access 9, and stuff like that. All right, so what I will do now is I'm gonna go back here, and now I'm going to register with this plate, and then we're gonna try this again, or maybe another plate. Let's find another plate. So if I go, let's see, do I have another plate? Okay, I have another one, CXJP929. So let's say I'm going to do enter location. I'm going to do 32 Spadina. And then what I will do is I'm going to put the CXJP, and it's going to be 929. That's from one of my examples pictures that I have. So I'm going to do proceed to payment. Let me quickly just fill this. All right, so there you go. So we registered with the CXJP929, and I got an email. Let me show you guys that. Okay, so as you guys can see, here's the email. It says that, and then here's the license plate CXJP929. And now what we will do is we're going to, let's say I go on this date and I'm driving through the camera, and the camera is going to scan my plate. So let's open it, and there you go. So it's CXJP929. So I still got a violation for this CXJP929, and let's see what we actually put. So I'm gonna go to my database, browse collections, and then bookings. So let's see, what do we have? CXJP space 929. And let's see, what did this guy get? CXJP. Oh, yes, one thing we have to do is when we are storing these plates, I think we should remove any spaces. So that's one of the problem we, okay. So let's find out. I'm gonna close this, and let's see when we do a booking. So let's see. Send violation email, update booking, get booking, delete booking. So we need to figure out where we're doing the booking. We need to do this. That's important. So let's say book, location ID page. Okay, so I think when we create the checkout session, you guys remember, let's see, yeah, right here. So what we need to do is we need to, oh, I can't do it like this. So what I need to do is I'm going to do as string, and then I'm going to do replace, just to replace all, and any space, just remove it. So it's going to replace all the spaces, and hopefully this will fix our problem. So yeah, I found out when I went to the database, as you can see, CXJP space 929. I mean, if you're putting this using this system, usually you won't do that. But anyway, so let's do that again. So I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to do 32 Spadina Avenue, Toronto. Okay, this time I'm going to do, let's say CX or XLLN 999. Okay, so let's see, this time I put a space, and we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to do that. Okay, there you go. So there you go. The space has been removed, as you can see. And I got an email. Let's refresh the database. So if I come here, there you go, XLLN 999. Okay, so now we're gonna go here and we're gonna scan the plate, and this should not be should be a violation. So this is a Honda. Let's open it. One thing would be nice to improve this machine vision and see if we can detect the car make by reading the logo. Maybe that's another project. But you see, there you go, OK, XLN9. So that's why for this one we're not getting a violation. So I guess, all right, so I guess that's it. This wraps up this entire series. We have created a smart parking or gateless parking where people can drive in. There's no gates. You book online, you pay online, and then there's camera that will detect your license plate, and then it's gonna report violators, and you know, it calls for a smooth system. And by removing gates, I mean having no gates, you save a lot of money in maintenance and hardware. So I guess you guys like this series. I'm going to continue to do more machine vision projects because I'm really getting into this and I'm really liking this. And if you guys have any ideas, suggestions, just let me know and I'll make those kind of videos. So that'll be it for now. Bye.